Well, let's see. Is there something in chapter 1? I don't get too far away. Yeah, we'll see. So I desperately need you to come ready on Thursday with questions from chapter 1 homework. You've got to get in there. Everybody has access to it because I put it up on the website. All right, so if you don't have a book yet or whatever, you can do it. If you're going to do online homework, again, it's not on there. It won't let me assign stuff out of the review. You still have to do it out of the book. You can do that. So come ready with questions. So I'll devote the first part of class next time to questions about chapter 1. So I'm going to get into the ideas behind chapter 2. Let's see. All right. So the order that they do things in chapter 2 could be improved a little bit. So let me start by looking at this thing we did a minute ago. Let me write it better. You do it, John. So there's a really useful tool we can use to help us analyze something. So I often, when I start talking about this idea, I like to bring up this old movie, The Blob. Has anyone ever seen the movie The Blob? Yes. This little meteorite crashes. This poor homeless dude comes up. He's like, "What is that?" And unfortunately, he gets really close and then touches it, and it grabs his arm, starts to eat him, all that kind of shit. Horror movie. Really good movie, actually. The 80s one especially. So there's a number that I don't know what happens at that number, but I want to get really close just to see. It's like, what the shit's that? And you don't touch it because we're not stupid. We're like, what the freak? So there's a value of x I'm not allowed to get to. We already talked about it. What value of x am I not allowed to get to? 1. I'm not allowed to get to 1. I can't put a 1 in because not only is it like undefined, it's worse. It's indeterminate. So if x is 1, this goes to 0 over 0, which is indeterminate. Unstoppable force, immovable object. Oh, what happens? Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? It's both 0 and infinity at the same time. Okay. That's a little for you. So what's really interesting is, in general, if the top is 0 and the bottom is 0, they're probably 0 for the same reason. And that might cancel. So for example, let's look at one that's a little bit easier. At 1, they're both 0, right? But why? Because the top has an x minus 1, and so does the bottom. So can't I kill the problem? Sort of. I still am not officially allowed to use 1, but now I can see that it wants to go to 2. Okay, so it's kind of nice when it's in this form, because then you're like, oh, cool, maybe there's the similar thing that I can kill, so then I can analyze it. But we're not going to do that yet. I'll show that to you in a minute, how you can actually factor something here. So here's the idea. I really want this idea to make complete physical sense and mathematical sense. There's a number I can't plug in, so what am I going to do one better? There's only one number I'm not allowed to plug in. I'm not even going to get close to negatives, right? There's just that number 1. Can't we get really close to 1? So for example, can't I plug in 1.1? 1.01? Right, go ahead and try that. Plug a 1.1 and a 1.01 in and see what you get. Plug it in the whole thing. You guys have calculators? No? If you don't, just kind of sit there and wait and wonder why you didn't bring that with you to math class. But the rest of you, help us. If you have a TI and you have the one where the square root grows or something, just make sure you get the hell out of the square root before you put the -1 in there. It's not inside the square root, right? Otherwise you get really funky ass answers. Somebody got that answer. No, dude, slow down with the shit. Anybody? I saw a lot of you guys take calculators out. What do you guys get?
2.05.
Yeah, 2 point. Yeah, I got you. 2.0488088, blah blah blah. Right? Okay. So that's at 1.1. It's like, okay, I think it's this. I think I see what it is. All right, what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a little closer. Right? Nothing's happened to me yet. Let me get a little closer. So 1.01. Let's plug that in. Does what we're doing make? I want it to make physical sense and mathematical sense. Hopefully. This will be very interesting. So what do you guys get?
2.0019.
Blah, blah, blah. So if I did 1.001, could you kind of give an estimate of what it's going to come out to be? Probably, right? That seems to be a pattern developing. I can't guess yet. So if we try that real quick here, I'll do it real quick. You guys can just hang back if you want to. So you get 2.0004998, blah, blah, blah. So right now I would guess what? What happens at 1? What does this want to do at 1? Wants to go to 2. Right? Now, of course, at 1, it doesn't go anywhere. It's an open circle. But where do I put the damn open circle is what we're investigating right now. I would put it looks like I would put it at 2. I'm still not good enough to know yet, to be honest, because I haven't really approached it. I got to get my buddy on the other side. It's like, hey, man, come here. What's this shit? So he's got to come from the other side. So from the other side, let's just kind of cut to the chase a bit. So I can go 0.99, 0.999. Do you see how I'm approaching 1 from both sides? All right, let's try it. Let's put 0.99 in. So I'm just going to put that when I get here. I'm going to have to put 0.9999. There you go, Jeff. 9999999. There it is. I get this for 0.9999. 0.99. So does that verify what we thought? Yes, totally. I like it. So at 1, at the value of x of 1, this should have an open circle at 2. Now let me show you something really, really, really cool. I think your definition of cool is different than mine, Jeff, but let's see. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, I know, I switched over. Have you guys heard of a graphing utility called Desmos?
Yes.
It's really awesome. You can get the app on your phone and all that shit. If we had more computer labs, we'd probably do a lot more with Desmos. So this is really, really kick-ass cool. Okay, so if I put in here, x minus 1 divided by square root of x minus 1. Alright, so it looks like that. It looks, well, I'm going to call it a certain name. It looks continuous. Right? Doesn't it look continuous? Because there's one even less than a pixel's worth, right? There's an infinitesimal little open circle. So watch what happens. Like I can put here and I can kind of slide this along. See how they all have outputs? But when I go to 1, let's see if I can hit 1. You can do this, Jeff. Let me hit 1. That'd be awesome. I might have to zoom in a little bit. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Let's zoom in a little bit.